Hello everyone, once again, Pairfect, the daily Tribune show that features top personalities in various fields of endeavor, comes your way from our studios here in Makati. I am Jojo Silvestre.
And I'm Alvin, Kasiban. Today we'd like to introduce someone who runs a new concept in the hotel industry, one that caters to the new generation of young professionals. Our guest today is Miss Joyce Pascual Agsaway, a life champion and the residence manager of the suites at Torre Lorenzo Malate, managed by the Ascot Limited. Welcome to Pairfect, ma'am.
Hello.
How are you?
Very good, very good. It's nice to be here.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving us an opportunity to, to be here with you today.
Yeah, we're glad that you're here with us. She's not only beautiful, but I imagine she's also very smart.
Yeah.
Ay,
of
thank you
course.
po. Salamat.
Very much qualified for her job, of course.
Thank you.
All right,
thank
so let's
you.
get into it.
All
so
right.
first, tell us about the first property you managed. Life, why the name? What is this concept?
All right. Well, actually, this is not really the first property that I've managed under the Ascot Group. This is actually my 6th and 7th
Okay.
property with them, but this is a very new and exciting brand. Life is actually a shortcut for Live Your Freedom. So it's actually a concept born and raised by the Ascot Group in our headquarters in Singapore that focuses on community living for our guests. As we have known, Ascot is actually a service residence, but basically the Life brand is some sort of like your deconstructed service residence.
Okay.
No, bakit deconstructed? Because basically we still offer the offerings of a service residence property, but the rest of the areas that you see in a basic service residence concept, nasa communal area siya. So like for example, in a basic service residence, you have the bedroom, you have the bath, you have the kitchen, you have the laundry area. No, but for the Life brand, since we would want to promote community, we would want to promote co-living, and at the same time, we also would want guests not to pay for something that they really won't need. Kasi basically, when you travel, diba, you just basically need a comfortable bed, a good shower, a good Wi-Fi. But the kitchen you don't oftenly use. The washer dryer you don't
kasi
oftenly
on
use.
the go lagi yung mga
Oh,
tao.
on the go eh. So what we did was to conceptualize a property that highlights these essentials when you travel, but you still get to have a value add of the usage of your laundry area, your kitchen in a communal concept.
Okay.
So you would want to create that community, and we also would want our guests to engage, with other guests and residents in the building as well.
Who
So
are
yun
your-
yung history niya.
Who are your target markets?
Ideally, it's actually the digital nomads, or even the technopreneurs.
Okay.
Yung mga startup businesses, yan. No, but actually for our first 60 days of operation, for Life Malate Manila, medyo mas naging ang acceptance ng community was really very big in terms of the corporate segment.
Okay.
Mas marami kaming corporate segments that we've actually hosted recently. I think basically because the Ascot Group has already established its name and its brand in the area for the longest time.
Yeah.
So nung nagkaroon kami ng brand in Manila, in Malate, primarily, malakas yung naging attraction and support ng corporate segment,
Yeah.
sa amin. So yun, so it's a mix. It's surprising. Sabi nga nila certain age group, pero hindi. Ang Pilipino pala bukas, to commune with other people and other individuals.
You mentioned earlier na you guys also cater to the digital nomads.
Yes.
So, did you guys see a surge of those people nung pandemic? Kasi di ba ang dami na di ba nag-work from home na? So, ang
Correct.
dami ng mga tao na lumipat ng places or di ba nagstay sa mga places na mas may affinity sila or gusto nila yung lugar. May marami bang tao or how did you manage that?
There's a certain ample of support from the digital community. Primarily, I think our social media platforms is actually a good testament of that. We're actually the first brand of the Ascot to actually merge into the TikTok community.
Okay.
So we have a very good following. There's actually even a position in the Life brand called the Ambassador of Buzz, who's actually in
wow. Okay.
charge. Yes, so her
Ganun
task,
na.
she's not just with me today, but she's also a TikTok influencer herself. So her task is really to focus on the community, to create noise and buzz
Okay.
for the organization. To share with you also, part of the conceptualization of the Life brand is actually a study in the universities, because our headquarters in Singapore is actually very near the Singapore University. So they did a study amongst the universities in terms of acceptance for this particular type of concept. That's the reason why the Life brand was born, because it was very much received and supported by that particular.
Gano'n katagal naging R&D nito for Life?
What do you mean?
Parang yung naging
In terms of the
development
study?
ng concept. Yeah,
okay.
study.
Well, okay, medyo konting history tayo. 1984, the Ascot brand was actually born out of the Capitalan Group. But in terms of the conceptualization of the brand, it was actually launched in 2016. But in terms of the study further, our first property actually opened in 2020 in
Who owns the
Singapore.
property? I don't quite understand. One owns it, the other one manages it.
Correct, correct.
Okay, so how's this?
Ascot kasi, basically, we came from the Capitalan Group. Capitalan Group is a very strong real estate developer in Singapore. So that's
Okay.
their main business.
So it's Asian pala.
It is, it is.
Okay.
Capitalan actually manages majority of the malls in
Okay.
Singapore and establishments. Actually, so yeah, so just a quick trivia, no? So Changi Airport actually in Singapore was actually conceptualized and developed by the Capitalan Group. The Capitalan Group is actually owns and operates the Ascot Group, which is the lodging community. So basically, when they did this particular study for the Life brand, they did about siguro mga 6 years of study before they were
Tagal din
able to
pala.
conceptualize it. Yes, medyo matagal din.
Yeah, it took some
But
time.
it was, it was very successful. We have 3 operating properties in Singapore already for this particular brand. We've also opened one in Melbourne and one in China just recently. So we are the 9th property in the whole platform of the Ascot Group. So lucky 9. Lucky 9 kami. Oh.
So, alright, so how big is the market for this in the country?
Malaki siya. Actually, we were surprised that it was very well received by the community. As a matter of fact, based on our 60 days operation, 50% of our market comes from this particular digital nomads group. And also, since our property is situated very near the universities, so yung attraction for student accommodation is also there, which is also something new for the group to engage with.
Who owns it?
Basically, we partnered with the Torre Lorenzo Corporation, so they're very strong on student accommodation. This is their 4th establishment in Manila.
Okay.
So the first one is the one near LaSalle. Yeah, so this is their 4th. And it's their first time partnering
The
with
one
us.
sa corner ng Vita Cruz yun, di ba?
Correct, correct.
Alright, so yung mga digital nomads, yung mga people na nag-cater kayo, are they all Filipinos or are there
It's a mix.
people? Okay, gano'n kada tawag dito? Ano yung ratio nun?
60-40. 60%
talaga?
maraming Pinoy. 40% comes from online travel agents. Kasi ang daming backpackers eh.
Madami nga.
Madaming
lalo na ngayon,
backpackers for that
diba?
particular area. And if you get to see our social spaces, which actually consists about 60% of the hotel setup, ang ganda nung social spaces. So like for example, even our meeting rooms, we even call it connect. Kasi the purpose is for you to connect. But it's not your typical meeting room na may long table.
Okay.
It's actually can be converted to a long table. It can be converted to a single table, which has outlet and very strong Wi-Fi.
Is there a cafe?
I'm sorry?
Is there a cafe where one can sit down?
Yes, we actually have a small kiosk there. It's also in partnership with the owners, but there will also be a premium coffee shop that's going to open soon. Pero yan, abangan na lang.
Alright.
Alright.
Okay, what about the suites? Same question. Paano siya na-conceptualize? Ano yung market?
Ayan. Actually, what's interesting about this brand, para kaming para kaming kape. So 3-in-1. For this particular building, it's actually a 700 plus unit building. 50% of which we manage. So that's life and the suites. And then the other half is actually being managed by the condo corporation. So the suites is actually also part initially of the condo corporation, but we wanted to have that ability to cater to more types of guests kasi baka hindi rin ganun ka-open agad, no, ang mga Pilipino to a communal concept. That's why we still have the suites. So pag every time nga that we show people around in the property, no, pag nakita nila si Life, okay, medyo bago. Pero pag dumating sila kay the suites, ay, ito si Ascot. Kasi ito yung may kitchen, ito yung may washer-dryer, ito yung may bedroom and all
Yeah,
that.
parang yung communal concept nga, parang recently lang siya mas naging
True,
accepted
true,
dito
but-
sa Philippines kasi na-observe ko din na ganun. And
Oo.
I have some friends din na, parang recently lang din sila nakapag-adjust sa ganun setup na, I mean, recently lang sila naging interested. So, how did you see this and sa Philippines? Na paano nag-adjust yung mga tao? Like, kailan nag-start na mas, mas maraming
Mas marami nag-accept.
nag-accept sa ganung kind of concept.
I think it also became favorable for us kasi nagkaroon na ng mga capsule hotels before eh. And that also establishes a sense of community kasi capsule hotel, you just get to have a capsule bed and then you get to have a communal bath, basically. There were also other local brands na meron na ring ganyang setup which has been actually accepted by the community. So medyo
Immediately
hindi
or okay? Or
based
parang
on-
nagkaroon pa lang adjustment
Based on our
period?
market intelligence, actually, I think it took about a year for these particular brands to introduce
Okay, so
themselves.
mabilis lang din pala.
Mabilis lang. I think kasi yung mga Pilipino, very naman tayo eh. Very very communal and very hospitable.
Madaling makipagkaibigan yung
Madaling
mga Pilipino.
makipagkaibigan. Oo.
Joyce, I'm interested in your career.
Ayan,
Because
nako.
I understand you were a beauty queen, then you finished human resources, and then you are where you are today. But before that, let's pause for a break.
Okay.
This break is brought to you by Angkas, Beat the Traffic, Bayad Center, #Bigger Better Younger Bayad, and you can buy it all. Conti's Bake Shop and Restaurant, delightfully yours. Globe, atin ang mundo. Meralco, ang liwanag ng bukas. SM, we've got it all for you. Smart, live more today. Union Bank, it starts with you. And Tata Consultancy Services. Straight Talk dives deep into present issues of leadership, politics, business, and more. Engage in insightful conversations with industry shakers, government leaders, and trailblazers every Wednesday at 10 a.m. only here on Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now in YouTube. A wellness show dedicated to empowering viewers with the knowledge and inspiration needed to lead a healthy lifestyle. Be Well Now, hosted by Miss Cory Crino, every Wednesday at 2 p.m. only here at Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now in YouTube.
Arayan at talakayang showbiz, times 2, doble-doble! Kasama ang dalawa sa walang kupas na talakayan ng showbiz, Alvin Ignacio at Alex Brosas. DTT Show, tuwing Sabado at Linggo, alas 4 ng hapon, dito lang sa Diaryo Tirada ng Daily Tribune.
Creative minds, entertainment icons, style influencers. We shine the spotlight on remarkable individuals who shape our cultural landscape. Every Tuesday at 2 p.m., only here in Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now in YouTube.
Conversations that are masterclasses from the top honchos of various industries.
Learn from their strategies and insights so you yourself can unlock your full potential.
Perfect, every Friday at 2 p.m., only here in Daily Tribune's Facebook page and Tribune Now in YouTube.
So, welcome back mga katribu. I'm Alvin Kasiban and co-hosting with Sir Jojo Silvestre, and we're still with Ma'am Joyce of Life.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
So, yeah, going back. So, Joyce, may question kanina si Sir Jojo
Sige,
about
sir.
I was asking you about your journey because I know that you were once a beauty queen.
That's how many years and how many pounds ago.
But
Jojo.
where did you graduate? Yun muna, yung
I graduated in UP Manila.
Okay.
I was a pre-med student because my dad was a physician. So usually ganon eh.
Tama.
Automatic.
It runs in the family.
It runs in the family. So, but I think I found my niche in communication. So I shifted on my second year to
Okay.
organizational communication. So that was my major and I minored in general psychology.
It's like, okay pala.
Oo. May ganong option no sa UP. And then, so allow me to just share a bit about
Yes.
that. So, syempre usually pag graduate, iniisip natin saan ba papasok na and all of that. So my mom, she loves reading magazines. Nung araw po, meron tinatawag na mod magazine.
Yeah.
Kung alam niyo yun. Okay, mod magazine. Meron siya nakita na article doon that actually talks about career movements or promotions for
Yes.
for a certain hotel, no?
Okay.
So she said, I think, bagay ka doon kasi matangkad ka naman. And then,
So how did you receive that?
sabi ko, sige. Kasi
Talaga?
usually pag graduate, di ba, usually yun yung iniisip na, pero just to get a job and all that. So, so I applied. So my first hotel that I've actually joined is also in Manila area. And then nag-move na ako to Makati and then back to Manila. Kaya hindi siya bago sa akin.
Pero yung communications and hospitality medyo
Medyo malayo.
malayo din eh, no?
Actually, sa class namin, ako lang yung nag-hotel.
Oh, see?
Oo, ako lang nag-hotel.
So paano, what attracted you to it? Kasi
To the
usually kung nasa
industry.
communications ka, mapupunta ka sa, it's either sa broadcasting,
Correct,
sa writing,
oo.
or sa
PR,
PR, advertising, yung mga
yes,
ganun, di ba?
oo.
So what ano yung
attracted
attractive sa hospitality for you?
Well, in a nutshell, kasi basically, pag bago kang graduate, ang ganda.
Yeah.
Kasi
Oo.
mag-aayos,
Yeah,
naka-stockings,
okay.
naka-bun and all
Glamorous.
that.
Glamorous,
Yes,
Hotel
most especially
industry,
kapag ka sa 5-star products.
Yeah.
No, but actually, it's so much more. Eventually, kaya rin siguro ako tumagal. I've been in the industry for 18 years. Ascot is my 4th brand, and this is the 6th and 7th property that I am managing under the umbrella. So I've been with the brand for almost 10 years already. And I think what made me last in the industry is basically, the industry is so much more. It's so much more than the hospitality industry. And
Okay.
if you have the capability and the pursuance to really grow your career, you will learn about financials, revenue management, business management, which is actually not part of my course. I haven't even taken a postgraduate course, but I was given the opportunity to have these learnings and effectively manage our brands.
Yeah, basically, if sa line of work mo, magte-trickle down na talaga yan to those parts eh. So, okay.
Nag-iba na ba ang industry? I mean, from 18 years ago.
Yeah,
How has it evolved?
It has evolved a lot.
Especially after the pandemic.
Especially after the pandemic. Well, how do I put it? Like, for example, for the Ascot Group, our branding is global living. So
Okay.
that itself actually insinuates our service to all types of guests and all types of communities that we may have. The hotel industry has evolved also in such a way that we would want not to be stigmatized in the glamour, the glitz and glam, but it's more of how you serve the rest of the people. Kasi noon, naku, sa hotel, medyo intimidating, no? That's actually something that we have changed in the Life brand. So like now, the shirt that I'm wearing, this is actually our uniform. So it creates a certain level of comfortability between the staffs and the guests.
Okay.
So yung from our look to our demeanor, we would want to welcome as more guests as possible, which I think became very effective for us
Parang you're
also.
welcoming them into your home, ano?
Oo,
Parang ganon.
ganon na nga po.
Pero in your experience, ano yung common challenges in the hospitality business, especially sa inyo sa life? And ano how do you overcome those challenges?
I think the biggest challenge, not only for Ascot, basically is the pandemic, no? For the whole hotel industry. Because we all know that it has greatly suffered, no, in such a way. But we are proud not to say that the Ascot Group, most especially here in the Philippines, is the only brand that didn't have any closure. We never postpone any operations.
Oo,
Because,
wow.
hindi po kami, and hindi rin kami nag-lay off ng tao.
Okay, so
Oo.
medyo mabigat yan na
Medyo
ano, na
mabigat siya, no?
responsibility.
Medyo mabigat,
So
oo.
how did you take care of your employees the whole period na,
Yeah,
walang
during that time,
travel,
no? Naku,
restrictions?
madami tayong ginawa. But I think kasi siguro for the ASCOT group in particular, we're a service residence. So basically, our focus is really rooms.
Okay.
Unlike other hotel chains, that majority of the revenue comes from the food and beverage section.
Okay.
So, nung nag-pandemic, since bumagsak yung F&B section, medyo nahirapan, no, yung ibang hotel groups. But for us, since our focus is really on rooms, and we were able to cater to expatriates for the OWA, for the quarantine, so medyo in a way, nagkaroon kami ng ambag sa community.
Oo.
No, in
Naging
that
quarantine
sense.
din kayo?
Yes, naging quarantine din po kami. Same with other hotels. And basically, the way we have taken care of our people, naging long stay sila. So, for one whole year, we're staying in the hotel.
Wow.
Because we also would want to protect our loved ones.
Oh,
So
no.
you were not with your family the whole year?
I had the privilege to bring my family.
Oh, that's
So my son was
good.
also doing online study in the hotel no during that time. So and my husband naman nag-online naman yung kanilang work. So medyo it kind of, paved the way for us to
be
for me
together
to be
doon.
together and for me to be able to also be of service to the
working.
property and to our guests.
You have two titles. What are your responsibilities? Which one do you manage and which one do you whatever?
Both are actually termed residence manager kasi service residence kami. So for other hotels, we call it the GMs. But for us, we call it residence manager. So for the life kasi, we would want to go away with the traditional terms. So even our staffs, we call them life crew. We don't call them hotel admin, hotel staff, no? Even our marketing, we call them ambassador of buzz. So for me, I'm the life champion. So basically, I act as the residence manager. But since I am managing the other brand, which is the suites, I'm termed as the residence manager. But technically, it's still the same concept, and I am managing both brands in the same building. Yon.
Ayan. So, ngayon naman, how do you cater to modern nomads and travelers today and ensure that hospitality is elevated through these new concepts?
Kasi for this particular generation ngayon, mahilig silang makipag-communicate and connect with other people.
Mingle
and I
talaga.
think magmingle talaga.
Mingle
And that
talaga.
has been very successful with the launch of our brand. We opened June 30. And prior to that, we have actually established our social media presence and community. Kaya ang lakas ng attraction namin for this particular type of generation. If you'll get to see our property, as I've shared earlier, our kitchen, we call it the bond. It's actually a whole
bond.
floor.
Okay.
Hindi siya isang certain square meter. It's a whole floor dedicated
Wow.
for social kitchen. So, this particular generation ngayon, they are very health conscious. They would want to have their meals prepared by themselves.
So, ano yung usual scene doon sa The Bond?
Sa The
when
Bond?
People are cooking and
Yes, in the
there are new
morning, and
ones coming in. So,
And sometimes they even exchange recipes.
Talaga?
Kasi mga
Talaga.
Pilipino, mahilig tayo makiusisa.
oo nga.
We should have one in the office, ano?
Yes, yes.
Actually.
Actually, like I think now for majority of the establishments, they have been focusing and catering to this type of operations.
I'm just curious. What would be the reason for one to stay in Manila? May BGC, may Makati, may Green Hills. Why right in the heart of Manila?
Because Manila is the melting pot of our culture.
Okay.
Nandun po lahat ng kulay, no, ng Manila. This is actually where even our CBDs originated. Sa Manila naman talaga. This is actually also our main
Tama.
port for exchange of goods and services. We're very near Manila Bay. We're very near Rizal Park. So that's why my uniform actually meron siyang kalesa
Kalesa,
dyan. Kasi
yeah.
you get to see that in Manila Bay, and we have also the Manila Bay sunset. So even the top of our building gives you the full Manila Bay sunrise and sunset.
And there's romance in that part of Manila.
Oh yes.
Maganda, no?
And it has been a decade since there was a new establishment going on. no, in the area. So it was something very exciting, and I think it's time to also give people the opportunity to, to cultivate our heritage, no,
Yeah,
our culture.
so much.
Kasi ang tagal na sobrang dami. Kaya ang ganda ng blend niya. Kasi we cater on technology, yet we don't forget the locality of the area,
Okay.
which I think
So,
is
the
important.
culture.
So
Correct.
on that, like, meron ba kayong mga programs or activities for foreign tourists or yun nga, yung mga digital nomads from different countries? Like, kasi sa poblasyon, some of the places there, parang nagko-conduct sila ng walking tours of the
True.
place. So kayo, do you
Meron
guys...
din,
So, ano
pero
yung sa
medyo
inyo?
mas ng high-tech ng konti. We call
Okay.
it the e-chariot.
E-chariot.
Wow.
Yes. So
Okay,
it's
that's
also a
cool.
walking tour, but you get to ride the electronic chariot.
Yeah.
So there's someone who's actually doing the tour. So it can be our
Oh, that's nice.
staff.
Okay.
But we also partner with certain establishments in the area. O kaya, yun yung actually role ni Ambassador of Buzz. Kasi
Okay.
she
Siya yung
creates
taga-tour,
the
ganun.
correct.
Okay.
She's actually the one who gets the partnerships sa
talaga?
establishment. So that's also part of the value add that, for the guests to
Maganda.
actually stay with us. Kasi they get to have discounts. Even if they have to pay, they get to have a very reasonable discount. Kasi these things are not cheap. But,
Oo
but the
naman, oo
experience
naman.
is very good.
Oh, very immersive.
Very
kumbaga, especially
immersive.
for tourists.
Correct.
Okay. So how long have you guys been conducting that e-chariot?
Even before the opening.
Okay.
So
talaga?
that's how we've actually introduced the brand. We call the Life Caravan. So not only we catered to guests, but we also catered to our associates in the
Okay.
existing Ascot community. Kasi I think for a successful brand to be effectively launched, it has to be embraced.
Embrace talaga.
Not only by the community, but by the staffs themselves. So, like, even our staffs or our life crews look differently. I look differently. I used to have long black hair, but now I have, the spikes and all that. So it has revolutionized, I think, for us.
Do you go as far as Chinatown?
Yes. We have
Okay.
Binondo Crawl.
Wow, talaga?
Yes.
I see.
And we also partnered with DOT for their hop-on, hop-off.
okay.
Kasi Robinsons is a stop-off for DOT.
Sa isang run nitong e-chariot na to, like how many guests yung
They
sumasama
can
usually?
cater to maximum of 8.
Okay.
Kasi yung Skinitas medyo maliit eh. So they have to ride this e-chariot. So 8 guests at the same time. And the price is relatively reasonable. Plus, you can actually even go yourself. You just have to show your room key.
But you
Sa
mean, like, can I join it? I mean,
Yes.
I pay for it?
Yes. You can.
ganun pala.
So kahit hindi ka nag-stay
Kahit hindi ka
doon.
nag-stay. Kasi we
okay.
would want to create that sense of community, not only for the internal but also external guests. And I guess at the end of the day, you will also have the opportunity to see the property. And we feel that, and we know that word of mouth is one of the best, if not the best marketing tool.
Maganda gawa ng lifestyle story.
Maganda
Yung
po.
We
e-chariot.
do that. You were talking about the way you look. No, syempre, ina-adjust niyo sa situation. What about your management style? Does it go with how you look and all that?
Well, my management, I think my course, organizational communication has actually been something very effective for me because I think I am an effective communicator, and I think that's key when you lead people. Most especially that for this particular type of organization, we have diverse types of individuals. Just to share with you also, one of the first things that we did for this particular brand is we did massive hiring, on-the-spot hiring, and we also did it American style. Sorry to quote, but American style. Wherein, first part of your interview, you get to show your talent. Kahit na anong klaseng talent pa yan, drawing, singing, modeling. And then if your talent actually is something of value, and can be of value to us, you get to skip the second stage and then you go directly to me.
Lipat ka na doon.
Diretso na. Pwede na.
Talented ka.
So, and then from there, you get to have your job offer on the same day.
So,
So
mabilis
that's,
lang,
yes.
mabilis lang
And
din.
usually kasi yan yung nagiging struggle ng mga nag-a-apply. Most especially for those na mga bata. Kasi ang tagal 2 weeks, 3 weeks sa antayin mo. Eto, on day you go there, if you have a talent, and you ace your interview, you get to have your offer on the same day. Before you leave in the evening, meron ka ng job offer.
Galing, ha?
Yes. And we're able to successfully hire our first batch of life crews from there.
I see. So, for sure, sobrang naging helpful sa operations.
Very
niyo nun.
helpful,
Kasi
very helpful.
wala nang delays eh.
Wala
Ayun na
nang
agad.
delays, correct. And yun yung medyo critical po kasi when you open a property, yung hiring of the right people.
People. Oh, okay.
Yes.
So, yun nga, with that, how has it been since Life Malate opened?
It has been, I think we have brought noise, no, and color, more color, no, to the Malate community. There was also a very good introduction of the ASCOT group in that particular area. Since we are gearing towards expansion further of more properties, touching base with the Manila community has actually been detrimental for our success as a group.
How do you deal with, mga crime, mga kung anong mga whatever would hinder?
Hindi natin siya maiiwasan, I think, but again, anchoring on ASCOT's very sturdy standards and guidelines. That's also one of the things that our guests actually very much appreciate, that once they step in to our building, they are assured of their safety and security. Plus, also, we have technological enhancements in the property to also add value to their safety and security. So yeah, it cannot be avoided, but you know, it can be managed.
Yeah. It can actually be avoided, no?
Yes.
Kasi may mga CCTV.
Oo, natatakot na sila.
Pero yung buti na encourage nyo naman sila na, okay, parang in our area, this is safe, and ganyan. Like, how do you assure yung safety ng mga...
I think kasi kilala na rin yung brand.
Ascot,
We're a Singaporean company, so basically alam nila that, you know, it's an international chain, so we bank on our very strong standards and guidelines. We get to have audits. Every year, audits, emphasis on the S, meaning we get to have a lot of audits to make sure that everything is in place in our operations.
Okay. So, yun din, what are ASCOT's plans for the rest of the year and next year?
We are gearing towards further expansion. So actually, just to share, we're opening today our fourth citadine in the pipeline. It's called Citadine Benavides Makati. So it's actually it's actually the 13th property that we are opening in the Philippines, and we still have more. Not only in Manila, but also in the Visayas, in Mindanao region. So very exciting.
What can one
for
expect
us.
here in Makati?
Yeah, so property.
Establish,
For this particular property,
Yes.
well, basically, this caters to more corporate clients. The property is actually situated in Legazpi Village, which is relatively near
Actually, malapit
the
lang yun dito.
Japanese town. So,
Okay.
and the rooms actually are very comfortable. This is your traditional service residence,
Okay.
coupled with a very good F&B partner, restaurant partner. It really provides a full service residence hotel experience for our guests.
What's the name of the restaurant?
It's actually managed by Miss Clun, but I have to come back to you with the specific name of the restaurant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, any last words or parting shots na lang that you guys wanna say to our viewers?
Well, thank you again for the opportunity to be here, and we are very much looking forward to having you in Life Malate Manila and the suites at Torre Lorenzo Malate, managed by the Ascot Limited. We have ongoing promotions until end of the year, so please do grab and come and visit us in the property.
All right. So, yeah. So, ayun. Thank you, Joyce, for joining us
Thank
today
you.
and sharing about the world of modern nomads, digital nomads. And Sir Jojo.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank
for
you so
being
much.
here.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, once again, we had Pairfect for everyone to enjoy. This is Jojo Silvestre.
And this is Alvin Kasiban with Ma'am Joyce of Life. And yeah, thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Thanks.